All right, hey guys, it is arena video number 2, and while we're listening to some cool beats after looking at that Kingdom Hearts trailer, we're going to be talking just a little bit about the previous arena video. And while I'm doing that, I'm also just going to say today, I missed arena yesterday, my fault, but I'm just going to be trying to do a whole bunch of battles tonight. Going to try and do 9 of them. Not full, and I'm going to talk about a little bit of the feedback that came back, as well as some things that I think were really good, and some things that I'm still questioning about. So first of all, I want to thank the people who watched the video, who liked the video. You know, it's like Elaine Bennis says on Seinfeld, those who like us can wish us well, and those who don't can go to hell. But seriously, even the people who didn't like the video, the ones who gave me feedback, or the ones who did like it and still gave me feedback, I appreciate it. I like the idea of showing matches that I find interesting and whatnot, and I like showing what is currently interesting to global too, and I want to somehow balance both of those things. I do want to show people the matchups that they are curious about. Obviously with Elena next week and like pure light evasion, how does that go up against Joker and Leela? And there's a couple ways that you can do that. I can potentially make a dark team to go light hunting, or I could potentially make a light team and go dark hunting, or, you know, whichever way I mix that up. I'm sure I did when I say it, because I do say that sometimes, and I'm sure I've mispronounced Elena's name multiple times. And you're just going to have to cut me some slack on that. But yeah, going into the way I think about doing these arena videos, it very much is just a question of what I think I can win against, what I don't think I can win against. Obviously, you know, when you're in arena, you have maybe 5 per day if you don't have any refresh items, or if you don't want to do any refreshes, and you want to maximize both bonus as well as efficiency for winning, because if you're winning, well, you're getting more points, you're getting a higher amount of lapis, and that goes into my decision at the Wii all the time of like what I am looking to fight. So here, obviously a level 89 Elena is a bit of a weak point in the team, capitalizing on the fact that people are trying to use the newest bonus but don't have the character fully maxed makes my life easy to choose a win. But in all honesty, what people have been asking for, a little more insight as to when I skip, why I'm ending up skipping this fight. First of all, I think this is a pretty easy win. While Engelbert is very strong and can potentially be problematic, Jaden is usually one of the things I am looking for a pretty darn secure and high pointed win. Jaden's runs out of AP really quickly. It really doesn't matter too much, not to mention that with the stage here with some blocking, it's not very good for gunners. Gunners need essentially a straight shot forward to hit their opponent, and it really kind of cuts, like Jaden gets into the middle part. Some enemies just get too close by that point, some are just too far, but even Jaden's attacks, his ranged attacks, is easy picking for Celeste. I've never had a match that's gone badly with that kind of setup. Jaden's are just really, really easy to score. So we're looking for right now 4 easy wins. That's kind of what we're looking for, to get over 5,000 points so I can get the amount of lapis for the week. Here, this is an entire magic team. This is also something I look at, because while incredibly synergistic, one of these two, potentially 2 of these units, are just not going to do any damage. Now, what I do agree with what globalers are saying is, hey, Elena is really strong and good against Celeste. And you know what? I pretty much agree. She is capable of dealing a good amount of damage. She is good at getting through barriers. But I think usually with these kind of setups right here, like clearly this team is at 1 evasion character, and 1 evasion character is much easier to beat than 3 full evasion characters, because it's a lot of evasion checks. So me doing this and just skipping through this feels pretty easy. We lost, but you know, sometimes AI issues, sometimes spacing and whatnot, it ends up getting you. So not a problem. We're just going to keep on rolling and try and get some other one. Here, we'll just go again. If at first you don't succeed, try again. But choosing light teams has been generally pretty reliable. If I'm looking for sure, like just points 100%, not too much to worry about, I'm usually choosing fire teams because those I can usually guarantee it. Not always. Again, you can't really see what the other team. See, this one worked out perfectly fine. So it could have been Yuna. Yuna could have ended up healing. Maybe we just couldn't get the damage in. We got close to killing some characters, but not quite. Maybe they had extra, sword resistance. All of these things are totally plausible. Or you look at this. Okay, maybe we don't want to go with this. This is full 120s. Maybe we can just try and find something that's a little bit weaker. Here we got, dark and dark. Oh, this limit burst is always going to hurt our character. This one as well is probably going to hurt maybe eventually. And this character, well, she's a lower tier, so we might have a little bit of an advantage. Let's find out. But yeah, I think one of the things is you're always looking for some kind of advantage in the teams you're fighting against. Like, for instance, people bring up good points and counterpoints in some videos of just being like, well, I can just bring an entire lightning-based team and kill water, and yeah, you should be able to. As I've always said, it's kind of a problem if you're going up against an element that you are supposed to have a natural advantage against, and you don't win. That would probably mean that Wotv is incredibly unbalanced at the moment, if that's the case. But now we're going to get into maybe some more watched matches, and I'm going to walk a little bit more through about my thought process. We're going to take a look at what works, what doesn't work here. We're also, let's do a little something. It's a little late in the week, but let's crash the game. This is one of those moments where this is another reason why I like skipping through matches, because it gives less time for the app to crash in the middle of a video recording. And since I don't do any editing on this, it just stays in. It stays in because it's important that we have a record of when the game crashes. Right, let's go back into Arena. Hopefully the menu this time will cooperate. Tough menu for the game to emulate, I guess. All right, so let's do something a little different. End of the week. Let's get a little bit of early data on Elena. Now, this is not exactly what I'm going to be running her with. I think I'm going to be running her with a little more geared towards evasion. Not completely, because I haven't really done any work recently on what's it called. Also, should make mention, this was my bad because Ultima didn't have the complete and accurate data, but a +5 level 50 of this does give 30 up for both. So this is probably stronger than the global sword. Probably. I haven't ran the entire numbers yet. So let's switch out. We got Bahamut here. I know Bahamut's probably not optimal, but it's what I've trained her with so far, so it is what it is. And last but not least, can't run. We're running with that. Let's go. Get evasion. Violet's mask. It's not maxed out, but we're not super concerned about that. We'll also throw in, I don't know. This is a bonus. We want some kind of bonus on our characters. And there's different ways. Now, I'm not going to make excuses. My Elena's not maxed out, but I don't necessarily want her to at the moment. I kind of just want to test this and see how far we get with that. So let's take a look at her stats really quickly. Seems fine. And if we lose, we can just, this is the way you do it, Globalers. You just blame it on the fact that you didn't max her. So you know what? pure dark team versus this. I mean, full 120s. I think this is going to be a loss, but we're going to do it anyway. I have 137 of these. I can probably spare a few. So I think I'm going to try and balance these videos into the future of giving commentary, because people seem to like the commentary over matches, but also doing some where it's just speed through it and try and talk about reasons why I'm picking matches too. It's going to take a few videos before I get really comfortable, find a method to the madness and whatnot. But yeah, I think Leela is probably our biggest issue in this fight. Leela is just a very strong character. And if this team is built to be very accurate against light evasion, which would be my assumption, then I would assume that this is going to hurt, and not just a little bit. The other thing is that she is running Yuna's Rod, which is curious. I don't know if that's necessarily super strong. We also have this issue right now of the fact that our character is going to be slightly out of position here. Not getting a kill on her is very bad. Our tank is dead. So we're kind of hoping to get some damage in here. So we got the limit burst there. We got a full hit, which gave us a nice little heal. So again, showing how strong Astoria is there. The heal off of the limit burst is one of the things that makes him particularly nasty to fight. Like, you look at Leela, and Leela ended up using her, like, her guts ability effectively saved her for a turn. Even with our character basically needing to take a turn to do just even a basic hit, we still were able to recover a fair bit of AP, and then directly just kind of beat Leela to death with, like, she wasn't able to cast her guts ability again. And that's one of the things where Astoria works really well, providing that he still has that HP regeneration buff. His limit burst is effectively pretty close to a full heal, and it's tough for other enemies to kill him. So good fight. I think we'll do the next one showing off of it. Velis. Velis is brand new, so reason why I'm picking this, I think that Velis is still countered pretty easily by Celeste. As for Victoria, Victoria has a nasty status effect on her limit burst, but the real reason I'm choosing this is because Globalers, some people just recently got Velis, they're probably a little more interested in a 120 version of him. I think that this is about, you know, I think it's a pretty fair fight between the two sides. Velis is really accurate, so it's very bad for our evasion unit. But again, you know what, we'll take potentially the L on this one if it means getting to show off Velis a bit for global. I would expect this probably a 60% chance that we lose, or definitely a low win pointage would be my expectation, because our Celeste is really not giving us very much benefit here. The other thing to note that I always really like talking up Astoria. He is one of the best characters I think I've ever been able to get in this. Something I really like about him is just how independent he is from Bells. It really is pretty fantastic. But yeah, there's the charm and whatnot. We got a little bit of a weird counter going on there. All right, so we got Victoria. Victoria did use her limit burst, which is definitely what I was expecting her to do. This is going to hurt. This is going to be a big AoE. And yeah, much to my disappointment, I was kind of expecting this. We're getting caught in this area here, and this is one of the bad things about this map. So yeah, it was basically a loss. We kind of got into the AI did something really weird there where we ended up getting stuck in a small area. And that's why AoEs are kind of good in this week's map, because you can just catch your opponent there. All right, so next one, let's take a look through here, see what we got for different opponents. We got a range of different stuff. This combination is particularly bad for my team. Healing will potentially keep this unit alive. Choom is just really hard to kill for an all-sword unit. The magic might work here, but I think the map is just a little too weird. And part of the reason I think is this map is really bad for Elena is her movement just is much slower than a lot of other units in my team. And she seems to just get caught in that area where she can potentially just get AoE'd to hell. So we're going to try something else. This one, I think we have a pretty good chance of winning. I think just between, with the two mages here, I think it's generally pretty likely that we get through this. But we'll see. This is going to be one I think I'm going to skip because I don't think that it's really... I think we score about 450 to 500 points here. I think it's pretty easy, but we'll see. I mean, even higher, like 690 points. Get out of here. It was never in doubt. Incredibly easy matchup for us. And again, I think that that combination of mage plus no tank is just our bread and butter right now. I think it's a really, really easy matchup. Wow. Original Stern. This one I run. This one I just run. This one, I'm choosing this one. 2 fire units, 1 fire mage. Definitely, I think we negate an entire unit here. Mont plus his status effect of Berserk could be really nasty. Stern is a wild card. I honestly haven't looked at Stern in long enough that he could be interesting. As for the positioning here, one of the reasons why I'm running this is I'm trying to give a good amount of my units some time to get their buffs going. Because of this hump on this map too, our units are effectively forced into a pretty maybe bad area for us. Like here you can see Stern, he got a hit off on us, but it really wasn't that bad. Stern also, unfortunately, because of his movement, Stern got put into a really, really bad spot against us. Let's see what Mont does here. He gets all of our units, but he doesn't kill any of them, which is very good for us. And you can see we tear really well through Mont's. But yeah, Elena seems, at least from initial impressions, very, very brittle against other teams. Really, I mean, she is 110. We haven't got her up to 120. I think that her max HP was something that I was scared about. But if you can't get her as a pure evasion unit, and yes, Esper is something that needs to be considered, it is maybe a little too scary to be running her right now. I don't know if she will be able to go up against this. All right, so we're in a good position right now. First of all, I think that this is a really bad matchup for us. We're not getting really anything, any bonus. Like we're not removing one of these units via Celeste. The other thing here is that the Joker Leela comp is potentially pretty scary. 3 dark units too is a lot of elemental synergy between vision cards and summons, and we don't even know necessarily what this team is really packing behind. No, that wasn't the right one. This was the right one. Yeah, we're looking at a lot of potential defensive options, or a lot of defense with Demon Wall here, very evadey character here, and a human killer here, which makes sense because, and even a TMR built weapon here, bells, and I don't know. We'll run this anyway because I think it's a interesting matchup. But I think that this is almost I would say that this is a 95% loss for us. We need to really, really, really scam a win that this one. Don't worry, everyone. That's just the engine struggling. This is just BlueStacks dry heaving its way to potentially get going. All right, so we're looking at some barriers, right? Barriers is not super great for us, but as a lot of people have pointed out, hey, it's great because Elena can chew through this. And no, AI, it seems that Elena's AI, at least on JP, Globalers, maybe you can give me a little bit of knowledge about your side, but she seems very reluctant to use her quad hit ability. I am curious why that is, whether that's an AI issue or not. All right, so we have our Guts ability here. Again, we're taking a fair amount of damage, but we're also like soaking up a lot. Yeah, Joker is just really, really durable. And up until now, our Elena hasn't really done anything for us, which is very, very, very scary. 8 down, though, has kept her pretty well protected. It is going to get our guy murdered. Yeah. Yeah, I think Joker is a really easy counter to Elena. As you can see here, we lost really handedly. Maybe a pure light evasion team, maybe a higher focused evasion would be better. I'm not saying that this is the best setup or anything. EMR weapons, blah, 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 blah. I think that there's a lot that is not contributing to our win with that fight. But yeah, different arena video for people who were kind of had some good feedback and whatnot. And I look forward to seeing some hopefully positive and constructive feedback on what you thought of our second arena video. This time with more matches and some skipped, some not, but hopefully with lots of interesting commentary and lots of video for you guys to mull it over and think about. Anyway, for now, that's all for this second video. See you next time.